Hello everyone, and welcome back to EveryDayEspo. Today I thought I'd bring you a little bit something different. It's late at night and I thought I'd bring you a video about what I hate about my Mustang. And I hate to say hate, I'm going to say dislike because there's not much I don't really like about this car. But there's a few things that I dislike about the car. Of course there's going to be stuff you don't like on every car. No car's perfect, but I thought I'd give you guys a video. Being a Mustang owner, I'd be able to tell you my experiences about the car and what's been bad and what's been good. So let's check it out. So the first thing I'd like to address is the legroom. Mustangs, definitely have a reputation for having not a lot of legroom. Obviously, up front here, you have your standard legroom. There's nothing wrong with the front seats. It's just when you get to the back seats. It's really easy to do that, but this is where I sit when I drive, and that's the amount of space back there. And sometimes the passenger will even sit further, so there's not a lot of room back there either. It's very dark in there, but yeah. And so basically, you can't fit a large person in the back seat. My grandpa and my father have managed to sit back there, and they didn't complain much, but I could tell, you can't do an hour, 2-hour drive in the back seat. So, I'm always looking forward to seeing if Ford's going to change that, maybe put a little bit more space in there or do something to fix that. But, yeah, that's definitely something I dislike about the car. The next thing I want to talk about is how low it is to the ground. Obviously, you're thinking Mustang, it's really low to the ground, which it is. I actually have the back raised here. As you can see, there's a lot of big wheel gap there. You can raise a family of 4 in there, to be honest. But yeah, it has been a problem for me. As you can see up here, it is very low to the ground. My driveway has little bumps, so I've always had problems getting down the driveway. I always have to turn the steering wheel completely to the left and go down the driveway at the bottom to avoid hitting it. And my friend who owns the red Mustang, which you've seen in the previous video, also has this problem, and he can't even if you turn the wheel all the way to the left, he still has this problem, and it just sucks. Going over speed bumps, you have to go like 5 miles per hour or 10 miles per hour just to make sure that you don't scratch the chin in the front or the car in general. So yeah, that's definitely something I dislike. The next thing I want to talk about is driving this car in harsh weather conditions. That's the thing, you can't really drive it in harsh weather conditions. I've driven it while it's raining, but heavy rain, you just really want to be careful. This car has traction control, if you want to call it that. Ford calls it advanced track. No idea what that stands for, what that means, because I've talked to many Mustang owners and no one feels a difference when you turn traction control on or off. So, and I live in New Jersey, so when it snows, car stays in here, no exceptions. Leave it in for a week, you don't want the salt getting up on the car anyway. So it's just, it sucks, the whole not driving it in the weather conditions. So, but that's what happens when you have rear-wheel drive. I mean, you shouldn't be driving a car like this in the snow anyway, but it just sucks not to be able to do that since I love driving this car. Next thing I dislike about this car is the interior. I don't hate it, but you can tell over time how it's kind of, cheap. You're paying, 30 grand for a car, but they, in these type of cars, you're trying to buy it for the power since, a lot of cars back in the day didn't have 300 horsepower, 350, and, you're trying to get, most bang for your buck here, but, over time, like this scratches. There's not a lot wrong, like here on the steering wheel, there's a little part of that button missing, and the light shines through that. I mean, a lot of it's plastic. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I've never had anyone tell me it looks bad, but when you're the owner, you kind of know, what to expect with the car and how it runs, stuff like that. So yeah, the interior. And I've heard, this is 2011. I've heard Ford has been improving with that over the years. I mean, you never know what they're going to come out with next, especially because they're getting, a little bit more expensive, but that's definitely my experiences with this. The next thing I want to talk about is the reputation of the Mustang owner. Now, when I first got this car, I had never thought, you know, people would say I'm a bad driver because I own a Mustang or anything like that. I had always known that Mustangs had bad reputations to begin with. You know, the whole going at cars and coffee and, you know, plowing people down and stuff like that. And all my friends like to joke about that. But I don't know, it's really gotten to me because I'm, you know, really safe driver. I don't fucking speed down the road and everything like that. But the reputation really catches up to you. You'll see people look at you, and just because you drive a Mustang, that's how they look at you. And I don't know, you know, so I do know some Mustang owners are stupid, but you know, I think owners of other cars are stupid too. Like, why is it the Mustang? They don't say that about the Camaro. But you know, it just bothers me because I like this car a lot. But it's not a big deal. I guess I've gotten used to it, but I don't know. It's interesting because you don't see this with other cars. It's generally just a Mustang. So I thought I'd point that out to you guys. Anyway, I think that's all I got for today. Got some homework to take care of. But that's 5 things I dislike about my Mustang. Stay tuned this week. We're going to have another vlog coming. We might do a prank or a challenge. Maybe we're reviewing the Army truck this week. Maybe a Jeep. I'm thinking about doing a funny parody about things Jeep owners say. Just like I did on the Mustang video, which has become very popular. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. Have a good night.